Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our data analytics tutorial. Today, I am going to talk about something fundamental but extremely powerful, that is, what is data analytics? Let's begin. Data analytics is the process of examining raw data to discover useful information, patterns, traits, and insights that help us make better decisions. Let's talk about what data analytics really does in the simplest way possible. You have probably heard that businesses, schools, and even governments are collecting huge amounts of data. But just having data is not enough. What matters is what we do with it. Think about it like this: data is often scattered, messy, and hard to read. It's like having hundreds of pieces of paper with numbers, lists, or notes, and no real way to understand what they mean just by looking at them. Data analytics is the process that takes all of that messy information and organizes it, cleans it up, and helps us see what it is really telling us. So instead of just seeing a bunch of random numbers and facts, we get clear and useful information that we can really do something with. For example, data is like puzzle pieces. Little bit of information. Each piece might be a number, a name, a date, or a location. On its own, it does not tell you much. You cannot look at one puzzle piece and know what the full picture is going to be. But once you start connecting the pieces, something imagining happens. A picture begins to form. You start to see the sky, the trees, the house, or whatever the puzzle shows. That's exactly what data analytics does. It helps us take all those loose and confusing pieces of information and put them together so we can see the big picture. Let's start with a problem. Imagine you own a small retail store. The year is coming to an end The holiday session is coming up, and you are thinking, how can I increase my sales this December? You do not want to just guess what people will buy. That can be risky. If you order too much of the wrong product, it might not sell. If you do not stock enough of something popular, you will miss out on sales. So instead of guessing, you decide to look at something more reliable, your sales data. That is where data analytics comes in. You go back and check your sales reports from last year, especially for the holiday months like November and December. You ask yourself a simple but important question: what products sold the most during the holiday session last year? You might use tools like Excel, simple graphs, or a sales dashboard. And when you look closely, something stands out. Chocolate gift boxes sold 40% more in December compared to the rest of the year. That's not just a number, that's a pattern, and it's useful. This pattern gives you an insight. An insight is something meaningful you learn from data. In this case, the insight is people love buying chocolate gift boxes in December, maybe for gifts, parties, or celebrations. Now you know something valuable. This is not just a guess, it is based on real facts from last year's data. And this insight helps you make a smart decision. Now that you have an insight, you can take action. Here, what you do: you increase your stock of chocolate gift boxes before December. You put them on a special holiday display at the front of your store. You even run a promotion like buy two get one free or a discount on gift wrapping. The result: the sales go up during the holiday session, just like the data predict- predicted. This success didn't happen by chance. It happened because you used data analytics to guide your decisions. Let's start with another example. A Hospital is noticing that some patients keep coming back not long after they have been discharged. This is called readmissions. When a patient returns to the hospital soon after treatment, readmissions are costly, stressful for patients, and a sign that something may be missing in the care process. So, the hospital asks the big question: how can we reduce the number of patients who get readmitted? Rather than guessing, they turn to data analytics. The hospital starts by looking into its own records. They go through patients' stories, treatments, and outcomes from the past few years. They use tools like spreadsheets, databases, or healthcare software to organize and study the data. Then they ask questions like: what kinds of patients are coming back? What health conditions do they have? How long after discharge do they return? As they look at the patterns in the data, something important comes up. They discover an important insight. Patients over the age of 60 who have diabetes are more likely to be readmitted. This insight is not just a random fact, it's meaningful and helpful. It helps the hospital focus its efforts. Now, they know which groups of patients may need extra care after they go home. Now, the hospital takes actions based on that insight. They design a special follow up care program just for all older diabetic patients. This program includes a checking call a few days after discharge, extra instructions for managing diabetes at home, free follow up appointments to monitor progress, and what happens next. The number of patients coming back to the hospital drops. They This did not happen by chance. It happened because the hospital used data analytics to understand the problem and take the right steps. So that's all for today. If you find this tutorial helpful, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more data analytics content. Thank you for watching and see you in the next tutorial.